You make $100,000 a year, and a $400 car repair just puts you in credit card debt. That is not a math problem, that is a structural problem. And according to PYMNTS data from January 2025, about half of people earning 6 figures or more are right there with you. If you are a professional in your 30s or 40s bringing home real money and still feeling anxiety every time something breaks, this is not a willpower problem. It is a fixed cost problem, and the costs doing the real damage are not the ones you have been told to cut. The number that matters here is not your income, it is what is already gone before you touch it. Let's start with Marcus. Marcus is 38. He works in tech, earns $105,000 a year, and lives in a mid-cost city. Not San Francisco, not Manhattan. A reasonable city where $100,000 should feel like something. His take home after federal and state taxes lands around $6,800 a month. He did not pick a lavish lifestyle. He picked a house in a decent school district, a reliable car, and daycare for his 2-year-old daughter. Those 3 decisions together cost him $5,100 a month before he buys a single meal or pays a single utility bill. He has $6,800 coming in. He has $5,100 already committed. The remaining $1,700 has to cover groceries, gas, utilities, insurance, internet, clothes, his daughter's pediatrician, and anything resembling savings. It cannot do all of that. It never could. And when his car needed a $400 repair in March, Marcus put it on a card and told himself he would pay it off next month. He is not reckless, he is trapped. I call this the fixed cost trap. It is the point at which your recurring contractual obligations consume so much of your income that no amount of latte cutting will close the gap. It is not about the $12 lunch. It is about the 4 agreements you sign that together exceed what your paycheck can actually absorb. The fixed cost trap does not care how much you earn. It scales with you. It grew up alongside every raise you got. And that is the part that most financial advice completely misses. The Harris Poll released a survey in November 2025 they call the Income Paradox Survey. They interviewed over 2,000 Americans, including 728 earning at least $100,000 a year. What they found was not a surprise to anyone actually living this. 64% of 6-figure earners said their income amounts to survival mode, not success. 1 in 3 described themselves as financially distressed. And 44% said they feel one unexpected bill away from financial chaos. 44%. These are not people who skipped economics class. These are engineers, nurses, accountants, managers, and nearly half of them are one broken furnace away from crisis. If this channel, the Compound Classroom, exists for one reason, it is to show you that the math behind this is actually simple once you see it. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this one. Now let me show you where the money actually goes. Imagine a single vertical bar. That is your take home, $6,800. For Marcus, it looks tall. It feels like room to breathe. Now watch what happens when we start building from the bottom up. The mortgage goes on first. Marcus bought a modest home in 2022. His payment is $2,200 a month. The bar just shrank. $4,600 left. Then the car, he financed a used SUV. $720 a month. The bar just shrank again. $3,880 left. Then daycare. One child center-based care, which Childcare Aware America put at an average of $13,128 annually in 2024. That is roughly $1,100 a month. The bar just shrank again, down to $2,780. That is what is left for everything else. Food for a family of 3, utilities, car insurance, health insurance if it is not fully covered, gas, internet, his daughter's clothes every 3 months because she keeps growing, his own work clothes, an occasional dinner out because he is a human being. That 27 to 80 does not stretch across all of that. And there's nothing left for savings, so when the $400 bill arrives, the bar is already at zero. This is not a spending problem. This is a structural math problem, and the structure locked in the moment he signed 3 contracts. Here's the part that surprises people. Housing went up 10.6% in 2024 alone. Childcare went up 7.7% the same year, the largest annual increase ever recorded according to the Lubbock Institute. Marcus did not get a 10% raise, almost no one did, which means the bar is not just short. It is getting shorter every year while his income grows at a slower pace. He is running on a treadmill that is incrementally speeding up. Now I want to show you the second layer, because this is where the trap seals shut. You might be thinking that Marcus should have bought a cheaper house or driven an older car, and you are not entirely wrong. But here is what the data actually shows. In 25 of the 100 largest metro areas in the United States, a family of 3 earning $100,000 will spend more on basic expenses every month than they bring home. This is a 2025 lending tree analysis, not fringe cities, 1 in 4 major American metros. The trap is geographic and structural, not personal. The objection I hear most often here is this: Marcus chose those fixed costs. He could have chosen differently. That is true, and also largely irrelevant to most people reading this, because most of you already have the mortgage. You already have the car payment. You already signed the daycare contract. The question is not whether you should have chosen differently in 2022. The question is what you do now with the structure you already have. And here is the part nobody tells you clearly. The reason the $400 bill broke Marcus is not because he spent too much on coffee. It is because every raise he has gotten in the last 6 years was absorbed instantly by his fixed costs before it ever reached his savings account. He got a $7,000 raise in 2023. His landlord raised his rent by $400 a month that same year. The car needed new tires. His daughter moved up a tier at daycare, which added $90 a month. By December, the raise was gone, not squandered, structurally consumed. This is what I call lifestyle lag. It is the opposite of lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is when you consciously upgrade your spending when income rises. Lifestyle lag is when you never upgrade anything but your fixed costs silently absorb every gain you make. You feel like you are staying flat. You are actually falling behind. The gap between what you earn and what you keep is not widening because you are spending more. It is widening because the floor keeps rising. The natural response here is to say you need to earn more, and yes, more income helps. But think through what happened the last 3 times Marcus got a raise. The raise arrived, the fixed costs grew to meet it. The buffer stayed the same. More income without a structural change does not fix the fixed cost trap. It just raises the ceiling of the trap. Marcus at $130,000 with the same architecture is still 1 bill away from a credit card. The fix is not the income. The fix is the gap. Step 1 is to calculate your actual fixed cost ratio. Take every recurring contractual payment you make, mortgage or rent, car payments, insurance premiums, subscriptions you cannot cancel, minimum debt payments, childcare, and add them up. Divide that number by your monthly take home. If that ratio is above 60%, you are in the trap. Most people who feel the way Marcus feels land between 65 and 80%. That leaves 20 to 35 cents of every dollar for everything else, including savings. You cannot build a buffer on that margin. Step 2 is the 12-month freeze. This is lifestyle lag turned into a weapon. The next time your income increases, and this is the rule that changes everything, you freeze your fixed costs for 12 months. You do not upgrade the house. You do not add a car payment. You do not let the daycare premium creep up without negotiating. Every dollar of that raise that does not go to a fixed cost goes into a separate account you do not touch. Not an investment account yet, a buffer account. You are building the emergency margin that the $400 bill requires. After 12 months of that gap, you will have between $5,000 and $10,000 in a place where a broken car or a medical bill does not reach your credit card. Step 3 is automation. Once the buffer exists, you automate a fixed monthly transfer into a high-yield savings account or a brokerage account before your spending money touches your checking account. The amount does not matter at first. $200 a month matters. Automation matters because it makes saving a fixed cost too. It removes the decision. You are not choosing every month whether to save. The system chooses for you. Here is what this looks like on a graph. Picture two lines starting at the same point. The left side is today. The right side is 5 years from now. The green line is your income. It goes up over time. The red line is your fixed costs. Without the 12-month freeze, it rises with the green line. The gap between the lines stays the same. Flat. Small. You remain one bill away from chaos. With the freeze, the red line stays flat each time income rises. The green line keeps moving. The gap between the lines grows. That white space is your buffer. That white space is the reason a $400 bill stops being a crisis. The goal here is not to retire early or become wealthy by next Thursday. The goal is to stop being fragile. The goal is to reach the point where an unexpected bill is an annoyance and not a catastrophe. That is not a luxury. That is the baseline that six-figure income was supposed to provide. And the reason it did not is not your character, it is your architecture. You do not need to earn $200,000 to feel financially stable. You need the gap between your income and your fixed costs to be wide enough to absorb the random chaos of being alive. A transmission failure, a root canal, a week between jobs. These are not rare events. They are scheduled inconveniences that the system never built a lane for. You have to build it yourself. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment with your actual fixed cost ratio. Take your monthly fixed obligations, divide by take home, and tell me the number. Most people have never calculated it, and the number surprises them every time. And if you are a professional in your 30s or 40s trying to stop being one bill away from the edge, hit subscribe. We put out one of these every day. I will see you in the next one.